Good morning, folks. Oh, it's so nice to have such a full house here. God bless you for coming on this very nice day in September. I very much enjoy today's first reading. Today's first reading is from Timothy. And he really kind of puts it in place, and he reminds us that we are followers of Christ. And we are called to follow Christ in all things, just not some things. Now, I realize that might be a struggle for some, including myself, but with God's blessing, God's grace inside our lives, and grace building on grace, we can become holier people inside those lives. And what I do like inside, what I like so much inside here and how he frames this, is really the attitudes we take on. If we really do consider ourselves children of God in that fullest sense, and we understand that God sends us out as children to take care of those who are in most need. That's what he calls us to do in so many ways. You know, I grew up in St. Anthony's in Alston. That was an incredible parish. If you've never been there and you're in the Boston area, do visit it. Most beautiful architectural work inside their woodwork, which is they couldn't replicate right now, but a beautiful spiritual place. I mean, a place where really I felt the presence of Jesus and felt the presence of the Blessed Mother inside. There's so many happy memories inside there. My parish, though, it went through some changes in the 80s, and most of the residents kind of moved out. We were very fortunate. When that normally happens, what happens is the church starts to go into decline. However, we had a Brazilian community who came in and shared the facilities with us. And I had the opportunity of one night going over to a Holy Thursday Mass, Brazilian Mass, and I must tell you what great joy that they showed inside there. The great joy that they have of Jesus and the way that they worship, the beautiful music that they pray. I mean, you really can feel your heart being lifted up to the Lord. For us Irish, that's a bit of a strain, to tell you the truth. God gives us such great gifts, and you know what Timothy's saying? He's trying to say, appreciate the blessings that God gives you, because God gives you so much. And don't look with what you don't have, look with what you have. I just came back from Atlanta, Georgia, the International Stewardship Conference, and I met many priests there and lay people. But one of the guys that I met on the elevator, I was kind of surprised. To go to this conference, he came all the way from Pakistan. Isn't that something? Farther than Brazil, and then some, to say the least. But you know what was so great was, we were two brothers. Just like myself and Cristiano, we're two brothers. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. One of the greatest gifts God gave me at ordination is probably thousands and thousands of brothers. By the way, I have like 5 brothers, but guess what? I got more of the blessing that God gave me to the many brothers I have. And then to be able to celebrate Mass with you today. What a great gift that is. Now, some people can go off and they can look in their lives and they see all the things they don't have. Now, what good does that do us when we do that, right? All right. Folks, I mean, I don't have that stretch, that limousine Cadillac that I probably should have, or the driver that accompanies it. I don't have that, okay? Now, I could dwell on that, and that could ruin my day, correct? What good would that do me? Now, mind you, I'm kidding about that, okay? But what I'm saying is some people can see what they don't have, rather than what Timothy's saying. If your relationship is so forged with Jesus, and you live out the gospel so well, then you're not going to see what you don't have. I'm on the board of the Constanza Medical Missions, and my parish is St. Anne's. We do a lot of missionary work down in, we go down to Ecuador, to the Dominican Republic, to Nicaragua, to Guatemala, in the United States. And we try to do, with the kids, a lot of missionary work inside there. And the purpose that we do this, and it's a lot of work, is to show these young people the universal nature of the church. So, for example, when I go off to the International Stewardship Convention, I see all these Catholics who love being Catholic. And that's what we do with our missionary work, is to bring them to see the universal nature of the church. In the Dominican Republic, we serve the people up there in the mountains. and they have problems with diabetes and blood pressure. A lot have lost limbs as a result of it. And we try to take care of their medical needs. But it's funny, you would think that they would be sad people, you know, given those problems. They do not have a lot, yet I will tell you, they are the happiest people. And their churches, my friends, are filled to the rafters, people waiting outside the doors, first-hand experience. And the joy they have is much beyond what we have up here and all that we have here. And why? Because they follow the gospel of Jesus Christ in a very, very deep way. I know we do, but what I'm saying is they have that great blessing God has given them to understand how awesome this faith is when we take care of each other and we become that bond of Christians, though a bond of humans taking care of each other in the name of bringing Jesus' gospel to those in need. So, friends, go home and think about this. And I always say, take time to sit down this day, and if you're at home, do the same thing. Write all the blessings that God has given you, okay?